All right, so hello everyone. Welcome to SEO Happy Hour. I'm Adriana Vujadin and I'm coach and SEO manager. So my goal with the SEO Happy Hour is to have actually SEO therapy, the only 1 hour during the week where we are not going to talk about SEO technicalities, content, Google updates, not all any of these things. We are going to talk about us, challenges that we had, and we will learn from the other SEO people who are actually willing to share their SEO journey and their stories. So today's guest is Alia Friedel. So thank you so much for joining. And
inviting me.
Yeah. I remember, and like that is actually the synonym for you when we had a call, initial call. It was around like 11 a.m. in the morning, and basically I was having a kind of like bad day, and then you came, and I was impressed by your mindset and the way how you approach the SEO work. I think it's very unusual because usually SEO professionals are handling their SEO job in a little bit like different way, especially regarding like the stress and like all these things. So basically you made my day, and I was looking forward to this call because just like sharing your experience, knowledge, and the way how you approach the SEO job is very beneficial, and people who are going to look and watch this recording can learn a lot regarding the SEO position that you are handling and actually approaching different challenges. So just like for the start, who is actually Lea Friedel and how has your journey started for you?
Yeah. First, I wanted to say thank you for these kind words. I already told you this, but I don't know if you remember that you already also made my day once when we just texted a few months ago, and you told me that you're done learning technical skills. That was so inspiring. And it's still so courageous to say so. I'm still thinking about that. So yeah, I'm gonna introduce myself. I'm Leah, and I'm living in Greece currently, working remotely as SEO manager and also freelancing in SEO. I am originally from Germany. I lived in Nuremberg and Berlin, and I originally wanted to become a singer and study singing, and life kind of took me in different pathways, which is great because I'm really happy with how everything went. I also have 2 kids, and I actually, if I compare my SEO journey to other people I know working in SEO, I have to say I kind of feel a little bit like a newbie, because the first time I learned about SEO was 1.5 years ago, when an amazing digital marketing agency gave me the chance to work for them as content manager because they liked my writing. And then I had to change companies at some time, and I got promoted to SEO manager after being hired as a junior content manager. So now I became this SEO manager maybe about 10 months ago. But yeah, it's impressive always to see how long other people are working this.
Yeah, but also I think that is the biggest challenge for us. And like I'm here maybe 3.5 years, and I'm still feeling a newbie as well. And what is interesting to see when I'm talking with my clients and they have like 5-7 years, basically they are feeling the same. So it doesn't matter like if you have like 1, 3, 5, or 10. Like I don't have like clients. I think, yeah. my latest client, like she has around like 10 years experience, and she's still feeling like newbie because she's comparing herself to the people who are 20 years in the industry. So I think that's how the world is operating.
That's just the thing we do automatically, comparing our journey to other people's. Yeah.
And interesting to hear, actually comparing came from firstly from our parents when they were comparing us to our like siblings. Then in the elementary school, they were comparing us with different grades. For example, I don't know, ABC or like 1 to 5. High school as well. And then we incorporate that brain pattern to be compared. And now when we are like enrolling, for example, colleges, or like when we are working in the company, now we are taking that pattern from our parents and teachers, and now we are comparing ourselves, our kids, and it's just like going the circles.
Yeah, and it's good that you mentioned this journey, because I can't really figure out in what way I'm benefiting it and how often it's hurting me, because I don't know how not to do this to my kids. How, I haven't really figured it out.
Yeah. Just for disclaimer, I did some kind of like coaching for not just like parents, but the coach was for the like inner child. And like, so in the group coaching, we have some sessions that actually people that are moms and like all these things. And basically they were saying, and since I'm not the mom, but I have my brother's kids, they were saying like, whatever you are telling them, just don't say, I don't know, it would be great if you finish that, because the goal is not the goal. The goal is the process. And also to not mention like any other like colleagues or siblings, because then they are putting in the way that actually, oh, I need to do better. And even just like better is a comparison, or I need to better than sister from brothers. So basically I have thought a lot from these coaching people.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I never say this to my kids, like, look at your sister, how good she's doing this, and so on. And sometimes it's on my tongue, and I'm just, internally slapping myself before I can say something like this. Because I'm still, kind of, I have it in my DNA still, and I have to just, every time like tell myself, no, it's not gonna happen
until it becomes a pattern. And you know what's funny? Because our initial call, we finished the call with a comparison with a girl that you are also having a website, and it was about comparison and how you actually approach the competitor. So I think that is the perfect time to actually just tell our listeners how you approach the competitors, and how you are being authentic, even your competitor is doing the same as you are on that website project that you are running.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't mentioned that now in my introduction, that I started a marketplace for secondhand clothes in Greece, and I've been living here for a few years, and I've just seen that there's this market gap, and I was pretty excited about, being the first one to fill that market gap here. And I've been working much too hard on this until, from January to July, when I saw this, when I came across this article about a girl, which is funny because she's from Switzerland and I'm from Germany, and she's also like doing the same exact thing here. And I had a lot of bad feelings, like envy, and also I felt extremely intimidated because I saw her LinkedIn profile and what she's done, and then I felt kind of, I mean, to be completely honest, I didn't want this to happen, but I cried because I felt so extremely intimidated. And then I felt actually sick for 2 days. I don't know if I was actually sick, but I think I was extremely overwhelmed. because she's also getting her project funded and so on. So I felt like I cannot keep up and all my work will go to waste and so on. And then I turned everything around because I realized I don't want to be jealous. I don't want to think about anybody as competition. I, from the bottom of my heart, don't believe in competition because these, and yeah, here we go with patterns again. This is just a pattern, right? Again. So my boyfriend said, just text her, maybe you can do something together. And I said, oh my God, no, I cannot text her. I have to do my own thing. I have to get better. And then I was like, no, I'm stupid. Don't think like that. You're thinking competitive again. It doesn't work out. It's not, it's negative energy. And I wanted to text her then. And every day I thought about it and I couldn't really do it until like 20 days later. I texted her and then we met. And there's no happy end yet or something like this, but I know her. I've been honest to her about my feelings, my project, and that I don't want to think competitive, and she's the same. So we're both kind of in a similar place right now, and we just left it at that for now. So let's see how the story will continue. But
How
it was
it
a big,
felt?
big thing.
How did it feel like after the conversation with her and before, actually, when you were just thinking about her in the negative way, you were wasting your energy on her?
I have to say, on the day that I was ready to text her, I felt so, I had changed my programming so much that I actually felt like, okay, I'm gonna text her and we're gonna get married. You know, I was so hyped about her. And yeah, and we had also had a great meeting. And it's funny because we both don't really know the next step to do in our businesses. So right now we're also not communicating so much about that because we're both confused in our own ways. But that's okay, you know. Let's see what's gonna happen. After the meeting, I felt really excited that I felt in peace and in balance, you know.
Yeah. So basically that's the goal, because we definitely don't want to compare ourselves like until the end of life, because every comparing us to others is actually harming us. We are not harming another person. Basically, it's just like wasting our energy. We are switching the focus, and then like it's just like feeling bad. And we really need to know like this pattern, like where we got this pattern, and that is something that we can easily fix. But it's just like the way how we used to think, and now we need to implement a new way of thinking if we really want to like be even like more successful. Because if we are just like comparing ourselves to others, how much time and energy we are going to spend on them? Like it's better to actually use that energy for our SEO growth, like personal development or something.
Yeah, and I think so many people are wasting all their energy on that, right? And it's just not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So I also have to say that I was feeling too proud for the wrong thing, this market gap thing. It's, I think it's good to be proud of yourself, but not to be proud of yourself for the wrong reasons, or for BS reasons like that.
Yeah, I think it's okay like to be proud of ourselves, but as long as we are not putting ourselves higher than other people. Because we can be proud of ourselves, just like doesn't matter like where other people's are, even we are in the same markets, and that's like healthy proudness of ourselves. But like if we are just putting like on ourselves like in the higher like level, and we are just like, no, like you can't touch me or something like this, then it tends to actually not serve you well, because all these things are also negative feelings. So just like, and that is actually connected with some insecurities. So what's your stories about insecurities when you were starting the SEO job versus now?
I have to say, first I have to say I'm working in a company right now that is leaving its employees a lot of room to grow, and they're not putting a lot of pressure on us. And because I was starting as junior content manager, but I had a lot of SEO knowledge already, I kind of how do you say that? They had lower expectations than what I brought to the table. And that was just a very lucky situation for me. But at some point I realized, okay, I want to keep impressing. I want to keep, getting the statistics up. Oh gosh, I don't know in what direction you see it. But I want to, keep it up and keep it going better. And I was always scared, and I still have this sometimes, that at some point I will run out of ideas what to do SEO wise with the page, like with whole page, and just have nothing to do anymore. And then my manager will say, yeah, we're kind of over with the SEO thing. So sometimes I have these extreme imposter attacks, I would call them. So when that started, and when I felt for the first time that, okay, I did what I do best, content update is now kind of done, the biggest changes, I dove deep into technical SEO, and it completely drained my energy. It made me extremely nervous, because I am not good at technical stuff like core white, what I cannot even say it, core web vitals, right?
Yeah.
I'm not good at that. So I was manically learning, and I was also manically learning the wrong things, not things that are maybe easy for me, but a lot of things that are hard for me. So I actually had one situation in a meeting with my team where I panicked when somebody asked me a question about something technical. I panicked and I couldn't breathe, and I had to cry, and I said, sorry guys, I just have to leave the meeting. And then I cried for 2 minutes, and then I came back in the meeting. Because yeah, I realized, okay, maybe you should spend less time on this extremely hard stuff that you don't feel comfortable with. So now I spend less time on learning in general, like a certain percentage that feels good to me, not to overwhelm me. And I also just spend a low percentage of my learning time on these issues that are very overwhelming to me, like technical SEO related things.
And that's the way I love when you were talking about like these challenges, because doesn't matter for any kind of reasons, like like content, you are starting to learn like these technical things. It's just like overwhelmed because like all these technical things like are crazy for just like, and you can't learn them just like in few months. Like you really need to have like even experience implementing to just like see how like all these things goes. But you actually recognize that, okay, like I will start learning slowly, because what is happening with the SEO professionals, they all think they need to learn as soon as possible, as much as possible. So basically their SEO job and day is like 10-12 hours. They are spending like all the weekends just like getting to know like about all these Google updates and like technical things. And then it's just like it's not possible to keep up in the long run, and then like they are burning out. So that's the case that we are actually bringing like to like SEO professionals who are watching this. It's okay if you don't know something, because you will learn, and like you have like all life in front of you. Because if you are rushing into decisions just like to learn as much as possible, then in the long run, you will be burnout. And when you are burnout, you are slowing your growth, because definitely you need to stop working. You just like can't keep up with the pace, and then it will be all or even like more overwhelming for you in the burnout when you are stop doing like all these things. And then like in the end you are on the same like balance. So just like for the mental health and like all these like crazy world that is happening around us, I think it's very crucial to highlight that it's okay if you don't know something, but just like going slowly into it, or just like realizing that we don't need to all be like technical people or just like content people, SEO managers, just like choosing your own path.
Yeah.
Because what is happening as your professionals, like they are learning like all these like dev stuff, then they are learning technical things, then they are learning content things, they want to be a SEO manager, so they are learning about like these managing skills, soft skills, and like in the end backlink skills, and like it's too much.
Yeah.
So that's the issue that SEO professionals are having. So I really love when you are actually, okay, this is not for me for now, I will slow down, and like you are able to recognize these moments and just like switch it. And that's great mindset.
Yes, and you know what? I was so happy this week about it. It happened that we had an issue with canonicals and something else, and so my colleague texted me in a public Slack channel of the company like, "Hey, Leah, what's going on with these canonicals? Blah blah." And I texted her back that this is still on my to learn list. And the next thing was she sent me a article from Moss that she said, this is a great one, by the way, just, and it was like, oh, that's so nice. So that's of course also really helpful if your colleagues don't have the same problem with these big imposter feelings and they all think it's okay not to know something. That's amazing. So yeah.
Yeah. And you are mentioning the imposter syndrome a lot. So can you specify one situation when you are feeling like huge imposter? So maybe we can go over that.
I always have to think about the first time I realized that I have it, because I always dreamed about writing a book, and I never thought I could write a book because I'm too young. I haven't seen enough things, which is complete BS. But because I'm young, that was like, now I'm 30, but I thought that when I was 22, I thought my writing will not be good enough, and so on and so on. I'm always really happy now when I read books from young people that just, wrote it. But I always thought I have to be 60 to write a good book. And at some point I just started writing and just thought, screw that, screw these beliefs. I will just write down what I want to tell the world. And that's the only way to go, right?
Yeah, and you remember like we were thinking that people in 30s are serious people, and like look at us.
Yeah, 30 was like being a complete adult, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Okay, so you're feeling imposter syndrome when you are writing a book?
Not anymore, thank God. But let's say now I kind of finished my nonfiction book and I'm thinking about to go into fiction, and I have these feelings again. I have like, oh, you're not Stephen King. You know.
But wait, have you published your book?
It's actually right now. I have an agent, and they're right now discussing with publishers. So it's all right now in the making.
Nice.
Like
What's the
out of my
name?
control. I'm sorry.
What's the name of the book?
Let me translate in English because it's in German. The Cost of Being a Woman is the working
Oh,
title.
wow.
Yeah. let's see if it will be the final time.
Nice. Cost of the being woman,
Cost
right?
of being a woman, yeah.
And what's the book about?
So the point is kind of, and that's why it's just a working title. It's mostly about taboos around, how can I say it? How around being a woman. That's how I started. But then the thought kind of developed into, okay, we all live in our gender rules, also men, and it's very important that we all give up these really tight and narrow gender roles, and also talk about the things that are taboos, which is really hard because a lot of people don't really realize they're having taboos. That's why they're taboos, right? So my main focus of the book is being vulnerable and achieving something that feminism always wanted, but by being soft and vulnerable.
Oh,
Doesn't
wow.
matter which gender you are. Yeah.
Yeah. Recently, I was on it not recently, actually, in the April at the Brighton conference, and I was listening one beautiful speaker, Louisa, and she was actually talking about vulnerability, and definitely like what is my feeling about the vulnerability is actually vulnerability is being a new braveness, because people are just so afraid to actually show the feelings, show the like even some thoughts, insecurities, because they are so afraid that other will kind of like judge them. But what is happening in the world, in real world, is actually you are tracking in that way, like even like bigger connections with the people, because then you are talking about something that everybody is so afraid of.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a lot about my own experiences as a woman that were painful many times. And I am really vulnerable in this book, like extremely. But I want to point out that feminism, because it is a feminist book, is not so much about this, oh, are we really, do we have the same rights, the equal rights? Because mostly, yeah, we do. But a lot of the not being equal is under the covers, and it's a lot about how we behave and how we also consciously, some people consciously put themselves into those gender roles that hurt them so much, like men that grew up with an Arnold Schwarzenegger being the Terminator, and this being like their definition of masculinity, right? This is super painful to most of the men that don't look like the Terminator, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, what can I say? It's a lot about that. I'm actually not so good about talking about this book because I have so many. I'm way too deep still in all the writing and all the chapters. It's too much.
Yeah, just let us know when it's live so we can read it. Nice.
Yeah, well, it will be in German first, so let's
Oh
see.
yeah, I totally forgot. Yeah. I have no idea about any word of German except like ich weiß es nicht. I remember this from the elementary school.
Yeah, I hope it will be translated. That would be great.
All right.
Let's see.
Yeah. Okay, so a challenge on writing a book. Can you connect some parallels with the challenges in the SEO world?
Yeah. So right now I'm still, oh my God, I have so many imposter moments still. Like some about it is being, of course, this technical issue. I try to calm myself down about that most of the times, which is working kind of well. But also the thing about working remotely and not being close to your team is also a lot about sometimes if I don't push through for like 4 hours until my break, I feel like I haven't done enough, and I feel like they will fire me now, and all this craziness. But there are a lot of, I would say, imposter pitfalls. I'm writing in accounting and I have no clue about accounting. Fun fact.
Oh yeah.
We're making accounting software, and it's completely fine to, be skilled in content and SEO and not be skilled in accounting. I interview the experts from our company, but sometimes I don't even know what they're talking about, and I have to kind of fabricate it to make it a nice article. So this is tough sometimes because I forget these things also that I already learned about it, and I have to start again and learn the same thing over and over again. So yeah, there are a lot of opportunities for the imposter voice to pop up.
Mm.
Yeah.
And you mentioned, for example, if you didn't work like for 4 hours and then break is coming and you're just feeling that like you didn't do much and it's not enough. And this is like so common that people, even like they are working 10 hours, 5 days, they will add some work on on weekends as well, and they will still think that it's not good enough. So what is actually your approach here, and would you be open to actually for discussion what is actually good enough, and like how much hours is enough?
Um, so I would say you are always enough, even if you don't do anything in life, because you will do something at some point, right? So you cannot measure in time how much is enough or how productive you are, because there are some days where you will get things done that, I don't know, would fit into 2 weeks, and then there are some days where you don't get anything done, and this is the most normal thing in the world. So I would say, I think I'm kind of unhappy with this thing that didn't work for me, the Pomodoro method. If I tried for 25 minutes and then doing a 5-minute break and so on and so on, and then getting back to work, like this doesn't work for me. I just have to start something, finish something, and then see, okay, what's my energy level at? But I am working very hard on not to overwhelm myself and not to get into manic productive mode, because this is harming myself again more than I'm benefiting from it. And the more I do, the less I'm satisfied. I realized this. There were some days where I worked for the whole day, and then in the evening for my own business, and I would bring the kids to bed and immediately open the laptop and do whatever until I would fall asleep. So on those days, sometimes I would feel like, yeah, you worked all day. And some days like most days, I would feel like, oh my God, okay, you got some stuff done, but you want to do more. You have to do more. And this is just horrible. This doesn't do you any good. So on some days, nothing will work out. Like today, I got 2 tasks done I had this extreme back pain today, and I was like, and I'm so overly satisfied with that. I'm like, I feel like I climbed the Mount Everest. So, um, I mean, this is more easily said than done, right? But you should not measure in time how to say, what is enough.
Yeah.
It's like, right? Sometimes you're on your period, you have PMS, whatever. There are
Yeah.
things. Yeah, me for my part, because I never know if other people are the same, I cannot control at all if this will be the best day ever or this will turn out to be the worst day ever. I don't feel like I have it under control. I always felt like other people had it under control though.
Yeah. And the key thing here that you mentioned is actually managing a level of energy, not a time. Because especially we are in different time of periods for the just like 1 month. So sometimes we are more productive, sometimes we are less productive. But the biggest issue here is judging ourselves, like why we didn't do more, why we didn't accomplish more tasks in a day, even when we are not feeling good, even when we are having our periods, like even just like some stressful family situations, like life is happening besides our work. And then in the end, we are feeling so bad about ourselves because we did 8 tasks from like 10 or something like this. So we really would like to like encourage people who are just like, if day is not productive, it's just like leave your work and then do something else. Because if you go to the gym, if you go for the walking, if you break your day in some other activities, then you can easily be like fulfilled by the energy of, I don't know, by walking, having a coffee with your partners, friends, family, doesn't matter. And then maybe after that to work, because you will have like more energy and you will done more tasks in a shorter period of time. Because if you're just like in the working mode and like you're working 8 hours, just like having a break for lunch, definitely like it's not the best use of your time, because it's just like you're not making the biggest impact just like by working 8 hours.
And to add to that, I remember I read once this sentence: sometimes the most productive thing you can do is taking a break or resting, I think it was. And that just completely shifted my perception on it, because it's not about being productive in life, right? Because some people, including me, are so focused on productiveness that when they have a day where they're just lying on the grass and, sunny day between the flowers, and they're like, this is a shitty day because I'm not productive, but it could be the most amazing day.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's not about being productive. And I actually, just to mention this, I have turned myself successfully into a hypochondriac over the last 6 years. And let's say for like 3 years now, I'm trying to overcome it. My body is getting symptoms of the flu sometimes, or fever symptoms. I don't actually have a fever. Or extreme tiredness that I just sleep for 2 days when I'm overwhelming myself. And it's only, I have figured out now, it's only psychological. Like there's nothing wrong actually with bacteria or something. It's
Yeah.
just, I just overwhelmed myself again, and now I have to sleep it off. Yeah, still happens to me sometimes, unfortunately.
Yeah, because if we don't admit that we are tired, that we need sleep, that we need some fresh air, our body will stop us. And probably you have noticed, like even like around you, and like sometimes we have some big plans for our career, for our life, and then it's suddenly like we are ill, we have some sickness, like we break a leg or something like that. Something is huge, because unconsciously, like our body is not ready for it, and it's just like stopping us, like, no, you need a rest, first a rest.
Yeah,
So
it's in a way.
Yeah, I have a friend, and she was working more than like 3 years in a very like toxic environment. Like she was thinking about getting firing, actually, giving a notice for almost like 1 year and something. And in the end, she gave the notice. And after she stopped working, she was for the first time ill, like in the last 5 years,
Wow.
because just like in these weeks, her body for the first time felt that actually it can be some kind of like rest. And since she didn't want to stop, she was just like looking for a new job and or finishing the college and like all these things. Basically, like body just said like stop, and then she was ill for a few weeks because it's actually impossible to feel like all this stress on the in the long term, and that our body is not feeling anything, because I think our body deserve to actually to feel good. And I think a lot of people are just not paying attention to our body because like we are so in the head. And if you are so in the head, if you're so about your goals, you're not paying attention to actually how you are feeling during all these things. It's just like it will be one day when you will actually stop, and then your body is taking control of you because like your head is not able to lead you.
Yeah, and if you did it long enough, you have to maybe pay a higher price, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah, and unfortunately it's not, because as long as you are like, I would say, ignoring yourself, your body,
Yeah.
it will be harder to actually recover from it. But lesson will be learned one day. It's just like, is it this year or next week? But yeah, everything is actually in that way. All right. So for the end of our call, I would like to ask you, what is your biggest transformation when you started your SEO job, and for example you overcome it, and today you are like feeling much more stronger about specific, I don't know, insecurities or anything like that, and what helped you in that process the most?
I would say a lot of it, I took everything really, really seriously in the beginning because I was also working in finance, with investment companies and extremely, I mean, for this agency where we had pretty strict customers, sorry, clients,
Mm-hmm.
that's agency language. And still at my current job, I took things very seriously. And of course, I still carry the responsibility. I take the responsibility seriously, but I'm trying to implement more fun into my daily life in order to get this strictness out, and also try to yeah, I lost the English word for if you want to prevent
Mm.
overwhelm from happening. So being more playful in this job is great, and it's possible. So being also, I mean, it's a marketing world, and it's always great to show courage in marketing. I always appreciate that also as a customer and as observing whatever I come across that has something to do with marketing. So yeah, this is something that's working really well for me. Yeah.
And you said taking seriously yourself and like being serious, and the biggest controversial thing is actually people are thinking they need to be serious, and like that means that they can't like play and that they can't enjoy in their SEO jobs. So they are just like, yeah, let's be serious, let's be serious. But actually it's not, like, because what a serious like even means, like, do you need to like not smile or just like, and we are so about like, yeah, being serious. But actually it's not, because everybody enjoys in some conversation with the people who are smiling, who are kind, who are actually sharing that positive energy, not just like being serious like this, like our old school teachers or something like that. But because like in these relationships you will actually enjoy most, and your clients will have like more connection with you if you're just like being as a human as it's like normal. So how you actually find uh, to learn to be like playful in the job that you are doing, and how to enjoy?
So right now, for example, the freelance job that I'm doing is a lot about female health and sexual health. So I have a variety of fun topics to write about, really fun keywords that have to do with, I don't know, period underwear, period sex, all sorts of stuff around that. While in my main job, the one that's about accounting is a little bit different, but it's of course a cool challenge if you have to think inside a really strict box to kind of still find opportunities where you can overcome this system or hack it a little bit to put some humor in. So this is something I really enjoy. Sometimes it's not, it's a challenge, I have to say. It can be tough. But yeah.
Nice. So what would you recommend, how to create some playfulness around our job?
Some Yeah, I have a great team. So some people maybe think now that, okay, this is not possible for everybody, of course, but I'm really trying to reach out to people from my company randomly. Like, for example, recently I just texted a developer I have never met in a call or in real life, and I thought, hey, I just wanna let's have an intro chat for half an hour. And she was super happy that I just reached out to her. This is something that makes me feel more motivated about my job, also more connected with the company, and it's fun. And we also, me and my marketing team, we also are starting to do regular meetings where we play Cards Against Humanity, online.
Ah,
Half an hour.
nice.
Things like that really brighten my day up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these games. Yeah, because in the end of the day, you will remember like these things.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
And then I also feel more refreshed to go back to my Google Sheet and, do the competitor analysis or whatever.
Yeah. I know the feeling. All right, so I think we shared a lot of good advices for people who are facing the similar situations. So, Leah, thank you so much for joining the call. And one more thing, in the future, I'm going to actually schedule some open day coaching sessions. Basically, people can come, share their SEO challenge they have, and then like I can help them with like mindset tools and checklists how to overcome, and then everybody will listen, so everybody can actually learn, and we are learning like from also each other. So that is something that will come in the maybe next 2 weeks. So but it will be just on my LinkedIn, so follow me there so you can keep up with all these new things that are coming. Leah, thank you so much for today's call, and I hope that you will publish that book even in some other languages, so we can read, because definitely I think we can learn a lot about vulnerability and like all these like women things that we are facing, but like we are not actually admitting, because we are in that like male energy, just like work, 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 work. And then, as Rihanna said that. So I hope that, and I'm feeling that actually the following years will be a lot of different than like these years in terms of like what SEO community is encouraging. So these conversations, as Leah's mindset and like these things that we have, is actually will be more powerful and more inspirational to have it, not just like learning new technical things. And that's also of course like it's normal, and like we are going to learn, but just like to have some balance in the mindset switch as well. All right,
Yes.
so any last words from you?
Yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity and this amazing call. I really enjoyed that. I love the idea already. I really enjoyed talking to you, and I love that you're doing this. You are a
Yeah,
big part of the change.
yeah, I hope so. I hope so. All right, thank you so much, and have a great evening.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.